The Los Angeles County Eviction Moratorium has just entered phase 2 as of June 1st, 2022, and we're going to run through exactly what that means for tenants and landlords. Plus, we're going to explain what to expect at the end of June if AB 2179 is not extended or replaced. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we've been there since the beginning, giving tenants and landlords updates on the eviction moratoria across California and beyond. And it's time to talk about phase 2 for Los Angeles County and their eviction moratorium and exactly what this means for tenants and landlords related to evictions. Now, it's important to point out that some of the areas that had their own local eviction moratoria, for example, Pasadena, their eviction moratorium will be ending at the end of June 2022, and Beverly Hills ended theirs at the end of May in 2022. That means those areas default to the Los Angeles County eviction moratorium. But what does that mean now? 3 quick things before we dive in. One is we can't give tax or legal advice, but for the most honest and up-to-date real estate advice, subscribe to this channel. Number 2 is landlords, you may be thinking about selling, and if you haven't figured it out by now, it is very difficult in LA County and nearly impossible in LA City. Before you move forward doing anything related to selling, make sure you reach out to a professional, and you can call us. We understand the process better than just about any other agent out there. And number 3 is if you're ready to dive into the phase 2 of the LA County eviction moratorium, hit that like button. And let's get started. Let's dive into the LA County Eviction Moratorium Phase 2, otherwise known as the COVID-19 Tenant Protections Resolutions Phase 2. So we covered Phase 1 in a previous video. Now that we're shooting in June, we're now in Phase 2, which runs from June 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Quick run through on some of the similarities. So there's a rent increase freeze. Those properties located in the RSO areas, the rent stabilization ordinance area, their rents cannot be increased. And there's protections from eviction for no fault reasons, nuisance, and unauthorized occupants or pets. A landlord cannot evict in Los Angeles County under Phase 2 for these things. Now, it does mention that there are changes. Phase 2 does make changes to the qualified owner move-in. We'll discuss that. And you'll also see that what's missing on this list is denying entry to landlord. Phase 1, if a tenant did not let a landlord in, the tenant was not at risk of eviction. Phase 2, it goes back to current state law. And current state law says if an owner of a rental unit gives proper legal notice and is there for a legal reason, that the tenant must allow the landlord to enter. If the tenant does not let the landlord or representative enter, the tenant is putting himself or herself at risk for an at-fault eviction. And 2 changes to the qualified owner move-in provision went into effect on June 1st, the beginning of Phase 2 of the Los Angeles County Eviction Moratorium. And what it says is the purchase property date of June 30th, 2021 requirement is gone. And what this means is owners were allowed to move into their properties if they follow very careful steps, and we've done content on that. It's not an easy thing to do, but under the eviction moratorium, anybody who owned a property June 30th, 2021 or before was able to go ahead and move forward with a qualified owner move-in. Anybody who bought a property 7/1 until Phase 2 was not able to use the owner move-in. So a lot of folks who purchased a property hoping to move in weren't able to do that. Now they can in Phase 2. So going forward, there isn't any ownership date that acts as a gate for when an owner can move in. An owner can do a qualified owner move-in and follow all the steps anytime they acquire a property now. The other big change to qualified owner move-in in Phase 2 is that now a landlord can go ahead and move forward with the process even if the tenant is not paying rent due to COVID-19. So in Phase 1 and before, a landlord couldn't do it if their tenant was not current on rent, and even if the landlord owned it before June 30th of 2021, they had maybe bought it 10 years ago. If the tenant was behind on rent due to COVID, an owner couldn't move in. That provision is gone as well. So this is a big change to the qualified owner move-in. Make sure you check out our video on how to do it, because it is not an easy process and all steps must be followed under the Los Angeles Eviction Moratorium. Under the LA County Eviction Moratorium, a landlord was not able to evict for non-payment of rent due to COVID-19. And that's what's been laid out in this updated eviction moratorium in phase 1 and phase 2. But things changed for LA County on March 31st, 2022, and that was the state passed AB 2179. And this legislation invalidated the Los Angeles County Eviction Moratorium only related to non-payment of rent due to COVID-19 and evictions. All these other provisions we just discussed were able to stay in place. The reason that AB 2179 invalidated the Los Angeles County Eviction Moratorium, but not the LA City Eviction Moratorium, was based on when this was passed. And essentially, AB 2179 did not allow any extensions of eviction moratoria. And that's what had happened in LA County, but not LA City. LA City hasn't technically really extended it. They just keep it rolling with no end date. LA County had an end date and then implemented the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That was invalidated for the months of April, May, June 2022. During those months, and we're still in June right now while I'm filming this, a landlord in Los Angeles County can evict for non-payment of rent, even if it's due to COVID-19, if a landlord only gives a notice for rent missed in April, May, or June. The landlord can't put on the 3-day notice any rent that's due before. So we've done a video on this loophole as well. So right now in Los Angeles County, that loophole is in place. So landlords in Los Angeles County can evict their tenants if they miss April, May, or June of 2022. AB 2179 is set to expire at the end of June 2022. Now, there is a chance it will be extended or a new law will replace it, because the intent of this legislation was to give more time to get the rental assistance funds out to all those folks who had applied. And they're still working hard to get the money out there to everyone who needs it. But in the meantime, if AB 2179 ends at the end of June, as it's currently slated, then the Los Angeles County Eviction Moratorium can go back in place with whatever regulations they want. So that's why you can see here on the section that says what's being added, effective July 1st, 2022, and this assumes that AB 2179 is going to end or not be extended by another bill. Once that date hits, July 1st, 2022, the eviction protections in Los Angeles County go back in place. Now, there's a special provision that states that a landlord cannot evict a tenant due to non-payment of rent due to COVID-19 if the tenant is at 80% of area median income or lower. Before phase 2 and before AB 2179, the landlord couldn't evict any tenant, no matter what their income level was, if they missed payment of rent due to COVID-19. It also states that this is for rent that's missed July of 2022 or later due to COVID-19. So theoretically, there's nothing that Los Angeles County can do to protect those tenants who missed rent for April, May, and June of 2022. So this is an important provision. Now, the other thing to understand is this is a self-certification process. The tenant is going to initiate the process and say that they cannot pay rent due to COVID-19. And they're also going to self-certify that their income is at 80% of area median income or lower. So if a tenant self-certifies those two facts in July of 2022, a landlord cannot evict due to non-payment of rent due to COVID-19. Leave your questions below and let us know what you're seeing out there. Landlords, are you seeing more renters paying? Renters, are you finally able to get back on your feet? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter so you're kept up to date. You're going to need to know what happens on July 1st of 2022. And of course, you're going to find out by being subscribed to this channel and subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter. We have a link below so you can do that. Check out this playlist here. There's plenty of eviction updates in there that you won't want to miss. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we want to hear from you.